So what exactly is this one trick that PewDiePie used to become a better artist than you in around a year?
I realize, and maybe other people have said this too, but drawing is more about training your brain to see rather than actually technical with your hand. I think that's a misconception I had.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that trick is the power of observation. And this is a skill that every artist should know. Honing your observation skills can improve your art in ways that you never ever thought were possible. So in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit on observation and the importance of it in art and how exactly you could learn observation, which in turn can help you become a better artist. Alright, so what is observation? Observation is more than just looking. It's about noticing and interpreting what you see to the best of your ability. It involves noticing details, understanding shapes, colors, and even the way how light and shadow cast on objects or scenes. Always remember, great art starts with a keen eye, and this is what PewDiePie came to understand throughout his entire artistic journey. So let's dive into really why observation is one of the most important skills for artists to have. Alright, so first and foremost, strong observational skills improve your drawing. When you truly observe your subject, you capture its essence and create more accurate representations. This is especially important for figure drawing or still life, where proportions and angles can make or break your piece. Good observation skills are especially useful once again when you're referencing from either real life or even your favorite artists. For me personally, observation really helped me a lot in learning how various artists do things without having to try and get in contact with them, only to probably find out that they're probably too busy to answer my art questions, or that you should check out their Patreon for tips and tricks and tutorials. Link in the description, by the way. But seriously though, a lot of professionals will tell you that this skill is incredibly useful, especially when you're a beginner starting to learn how to draw, because not all answers will be available to you at once, but what is available to you is your eyeballs and how you use them along with your baby brain to gather and break down information. Observation also helps in development of your art style. By studying different subjects and artists, you'll learn what resonates with you. You can then incorporate those elements into your own work, and this ties into what we call studying. Studying from your favorite artists or subjects plays hand in hand with observation. Because really, how can you study or learn from something that you cannot see? How I personally use observation to learn from artists is that I sometimes watch artists draw on live streams or in YouTube videos, and I observe how they draw each stroke or how they break down whatever they're drawing in a simpler format. And most of the time, the artist is not even explaining what they're doing, but I'm paying such keen attention to them drawing that I can't help but try and figure out how exactly they went about creating such amazing drawings. And let's say the artist you love does not stream, or maybe they don't show their art process much online. You can still observe their work and understand a lot from it, especially if you have an understanding of the art fundamentals. So let's say your favorite artist draws eyes a specific way, and you can't help but adore the way how they draw, and you wish you can be able to draw even in the slightest way like them. Well, you first start off by observing the shapes that they use in creating the eyes. Then you can observe the colors they use, whether that be very saturated colors or very unsaturated colors. And you can also observe the lighting that they use in creating their eyes, the strokes, the type of pen that they might use or brush to shade, many different things. And then you can go around and try and figure out how to do that for yourself. Observation is especially useful if they post sketches of their work online, so you can even observe the backbone to how they create, the shapes that they might use to build up their sketches to get to that point of mastery. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much how you reference, but just like studying, once again, referencing and observation go hand in hand in helping you become a better artist. They're pretty much the same thing. Next, observation plays a vital role in creating depth and dimension. Understanding how light interacts with forms or objects. Even maybe how light looks when it passes through a piece of colored glass, for example. Or what bounce light looks like when it shines on a colored object. Observation really helps you to understand your subject or scene so that you can add realistic shading and highlights to such subject or scene. and also allows you to understand how you can give your work a three-dimensional feel, because it's all about seeing how things really are, not just how we think they should look. And maybe you're on the abstract side of things. Maybe you care much about how people feel when they view your art, or maybe you care much about how you feel when you view other people's art. Observation also nurtures an emotional connection to your subjects. When you take the time to really see and understand what you're drawing, you can convey that said emotion to your audience. This connection can transform a simple piece into something deeply impactful. Now, for all you wonderful people who made it this far into the video, here are a couple things that you can do to improve your observational skills. Draw from life. Spend time sketching people, objects, or landscapes around you. Spend time observing how they look. For example, how the sun looks when it touches the top of a tree, or how the river flows downstream, or even how your friend laughs. I know at times it might come off a bit weird if you spend time sitting around just staring at somebody or staring out in deep space, but just understand that you're doing all of this to improve your art skills. Number 2, use reference photos. Analyze details in the photos to practice capturing the likeness. For example, if you're drawing a portrait, try your best to see if you're able to observe the fine details of said portrait and see how well you could reciprocate those details into your own work. And number 3, the most important one, is to take your time. Slow down, really observe what you're looking at before putting your pencil to paper. Take the time out to analyze, think about it, and to really understand your subject. Too many times we get up and jump straight into Pinterest or jump straight onto some reference and start drawing instantly without even taking the time out to acknowledge what we're even drawing, the shapes in what we're drawing, or the lighting, or whatever fine details there might be. Remember, observation is a skill that develops over time. The more you practice, the more you'll see and understand, and the more your art will flourish. Hey, you could even start off practicing by observing the subscribe button that is right below the like button. But as always, creatives, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I appreciate every single one of you. And as always, I'm watching you guys from afar. Enjoy drawing. Peace.